Hey, and welcome to my garage.
This is the 3-inch 75mm pulley. Just finishing off the first round. Beautiful. It worked out. Now to just make them deeper. But that's the 3-inch fellow. Catch you later. This is the 100mm 4-inch tooth pulley. Well, there's two of them there on the mandrel. I struck a few problems with this one. First, the cutter. The cutter moves in the bar. It becomes shallower as I go around, so it's been pushed up. So what I might do, what I will do, is put a second, little bit smaller. This is an M6. I'll put an M5 set screw behind it or in front. Got to measure that difference. That was in the middle of the hole behind it. I'll put an M5 behind it, try and tighten up. Might also turn up little brass buttons to go under the set screw. See if that will stop it from moving. I think part of my problem, well, I know it does move even with a smaller cut, but I think part of my problem with this last one, I was making a 1mm cut with it, 40 thou, and I think it was a bit too much, not only for this, but for the second problem. The second problem I had was, like the 3-inch pulley, I had miscounted on the dividing head, and it put me off at the end. But I was able to recover the 3-inch pulley because I miscounted on the first scratch pass. Well, scratch pass, it was a 1/2mm deep scratch pass. And considering the pulley's each tooth is 3mm, 3.1mm deep, I was able to recover the miscount, and it didn't cause me a problem. But on this one, it was more than I realised later. It was more than a miscount. Actually, it may not have been a miscount because I couldn't pick it up. It ended up being this whole thing. It turned yes, I can't think of what that's called now. But anyhow, this had moved and become loose, and I hadn't realised it. So this is terrible. it was losing its depth of cut because that was moving, and then the count was out. As you can see here, I ended up being in the middle of the counts. I thought I might be able to recover it, and I probably could do it, but the trouble is then at least half the teeth, and this is what I was trying to do. 3/4 of the teeth have got a cut on the crown, which makes the top of the tooth too sharp. Now, I could turn this down from I've measured it, I could make it a 38 count rather than a 40 count. But the problem I have there is being a 4-stage pulley, 2, 3, 4 and 5 inches, 2 of them opposite each other. I retain the same belt length on all four stages, so the throw of yes, if I change the size of the 4-inch pulley, I'm going to change the distance of the length of the belt. So currently the 4 same pulley sizes, that end and this end, all equate to the same length of belt from centre to centre. If I change the size of the 4-inch one, and so there's going to be two 4-inch ones, that end and one this end, but they're not they're not directly opposing each other. So it's a 4 down to a 3, and a 3 up to a 4. If I make those smaller, then the belt needs to be shorter, because my axle distance, my spindle distances, doesn't change, it's fixed. It changes to adjust it, but the spread distance remains the same across all 4. I think, well, it does, yes. And if I change that size, that will change that relationship. All right. So what I might do is check that relationship between the 4 pulleys, and if it doesn't work out, then I'll recast these blanks and I'll start all over again, and I've still got the 5 inches to do, but I can't do the 5-inch until I cast up a spacer to go underneath the tail stand and the dividing head to take the centre up high enough, because currently the centre is at about 100. It's at 60 mil, which gives me a maximum diameter of 120, and the 5-inch wheels are 125. Gingery in his dividing head section recommends making a riser plate to go under the dividing head, so you can use the dividing head, turn it 90 degrees and use it on the same axis as the spindle. I haven't had a need for that yet, so I didn't make that plate, but I do need the plate now to lift it high enough to get the 5-inch diameter pulleys on. Anyhow, I shall, one of the fixes for this movement, I'm going to drill a hole, a dimple, in both the dividing head shaft and this mandrel to line up with a set screw in each, one for here and one for the dividing head. The other two holes, because I've got 4 holes, 2 in this and 2 in that. So one in each shaft will be a deep dimple for the set screw to go into, and the other one will be just left plain. And hopefully that will stop that from coming loose and shifting. And then an extra hole up here to put 2 set screws on the cutter. We'll see how we go. I think that should do as a dimple. These are the new blanks, 2 new blanks for the 100 4-inch tooth wheels. I've got 4.8 to go, so I've got 2.4 on each of these, and it's such a large size I can only do about a 1/4 mm cut, so it's going to take some time. Okay, 1.7. That's millimeters. Spot on. Exactly to size. I'm setting this up to drill a second set screw to hold the tool in place. Okay, so it's perpendicular to the spindle, and
that's pretty good.
I will set this up to get the right height before I start drilling. Should give me a nice flat spot to start the drill. Just need to tap it, we're done. Alright, I'm back on the 100mm 4-inch drive pulleys, tooth belt pulleys. What I've done to improve things, I've put a deeper dimple in this arbor, another deep dimple in the shaft of the dividing head. I've also fitted a second, is it there? Yeah. I've also fitted a second set screw to try and hold this tool in place so it doesn't shift. And that's pretty much it, isn't it? So I will assemble the tail stand and or two tail stands actually, tail stand for the cutter and the tail stand for the gear blank. Alright, let me put this together. Here I'm just lining up the cutter with the centre line of the dividing head. That's it.